That Horror Show, Episode 3. Now, I know that most of us, movie fans in general, are sick and tired of seeing remakes or reboots, especially ones that are already killer. Now, to me though, there are movies out there, especially ones from like the 60s and 70s, that could get a remake, especially ones that had great potential back then, but just missed out. And now, we all know, especially if you're a horror fan or a monster movie fan, that in the year 2020, the long awaited remake or rematch, if you will be coming out when Godzilla versus King Kong comes out. And I personally cannot wait for that because I love Godzilla versus King Kong, but it was kind of hokey back then. But with Godzilla 2014 and Kong Skull Island coming out the year 2020, that rematch, that long awaited remake, I have a feeling will be beyond epic. Now, that's not the movie that I'm going to be talking about here on episode 3 of That Horror Show. I had another movie in mind. In 1973, a movie came out called Three on a Meat Hook. It's one of those 70s grindhouse films that takes the life of Ed Gein and made it a movie. Just like Psycho, TCM, that's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and F-13 did. But in this film, it's about a father and son. The son, Billy, seems to be obsessed with women and killing them, of course. And we find out that he killed his mother when he was just a boy. But his father covered it up, and for years Billy was haunted and tortured by this. As the movie progresses, one summer, four girls go swimming in a lake and have some nude scenes in it, of course. But when their car breaks down, they actually run into who else but Billy. And they stay at his house. But his father warns him what could happen. And of course, all the women get shot. Except for one. She gets her freaking head chopped off. And that's actually how the movie starts. Later on in the film, Billy ends up falling in love with a girl that he meets at a bar. And when she stays the night, Billy and she ends up finding a barn at their farm, and she goes out in the morning and she sees what else? Three women hanging from meat hooks. And then we find out that Billy never killed anyone. It was his father. He has been killing young women to feed them to his wife. Yes, Billy's mom has been alive this whole time. And in this movie, it's the mother and father that are crazy freaking cannibals. Now, this film, Three on a Meat Hook, my pop showed me a long time ago when I was a wee little lad. And I loved it right away. It blew my freaking mind, man. And even from this guitar sound that they do throughout like the whole film, it's like wow wow, something like that. I think they used the wah bar throughout it, but still to this day, it just kind of rings in my head a lot. Now, I'll say this. Three on a Meat Hook is not as gory as most grindhouse films, even though if you look at the cover, there's only two, and it's always been like this, even on the VHS. There's only two women and a meat hook. It's three on a meat hook. I always found the cover very funny, but drawn out. It's drawn very good. I like that. Be cool to have it as a poster or something. But if you look at most grindhouse films, like a Wizard of Gore or a Last House on the Left, or you know, there's a lot of them out there. It's not as gory, but with the gore and the storyline that they have, it had me hooked. See what I did there? And this is one film that like I said in the beginning of that horror show, episode 3, at the beginning of this video. This is one movie that had great potential, but just missed out. But for what it is, it's El Fantastico. And it's one film, like I said, that I would really like to see get an I keep calling it a remake, but maybe just an updated version. Maybe like if they filmed it kind of like they did for the remake of Maniac or even I Spit on Your Grave, as long as they don't fudge it up like they did with Last House on the Left. Uh, with that remake, I thought that was garbage. But anyways, uh, if you ever get a chance and see this on VHS, DVD, I might be on YouTube. I'm not too sure about that, but I highly recommend 3 on a meat hook. I think that sit back, have a couple beers, popcorn, just chill out and have some fun. This is one movie you can sit back and it can really hook you to it. And so yeah, that's my thoughts and review on 3 on a meat hook. I've loved it ever since. Like I said, I was a wee little lad, and probably once a year I have to watch it. So yeah, that's the end of episode 3 of that horror show. I'm only gonna do maybe 2 or 3 of these a week to not, you know, keep them going continuously. And I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and until next time, folks.